Hi guys, I'm Andy Hillier with 9 to 42 and today's guitar lesson is on how to make your bar chords easier. 9 to 42. Okay, so this is one of the big stumbling blocks when you're learning to play the guitar. First of all, you get your little open chords, and they're pretty tricky to move between them. And the next big thing is to play bar chords. And lots of my students really struggle with this. So in this video, I'm going to give you a few tips to hopefully enable you to play nicer sounding bar chords. Okay, so if you don't know what a bar chord is, it's when we're holding down more than one string with our finger. And for the most part, we're either holding down all 6 strings or 5 strings. Now my first tip is your finger has got lots of fleshy bits on it and it's not perfectly straight. If your finger was perfectly straight, bar chords would be really easy. But unfortunately it's not. So what we need to do is, the biggest thing that I see my students getting wrong is they try and use the flat bit of their finger like this, like having their finger completely flat against the guitar. Now what you want to do is you actually want to hold your finger on an angle slightly. So you're actually playing along almost 45 degrees off the side of the finger. So if you can see that. So basically, if you're holding your hand straight, just twist it round so that your finger is slightly on the side. And that's a bit harder and a bit smootherish. It doesn't go up and down so much. And that enables you to squeeze the strings down easier. So that's my first tip. The second tip is kind of how you get that. And what you need to do is to angle your arm around 45 degrees off the angle of the neck. So if the neck's going off like this, your arm wants to be coming off the guitar from around this sort of angle. Best way to do that is angle your guitar forward slightly. If you're sitting straight on, if I angle my guitar 45 degrees, then my arm's going to be pretty straight with that. So that's going to work. So the arm comes off at 45 degrees, and that enables you to use the side of your finger. Okay. So the next step is to bend the wrist. So what we need to do, if I turn around like this, a lot of people play especially when they're playing the bar chords and especially when they're playing the open chords, they've got their wrist really straight, if not bent up slightly. For bar chords, that doesn't work. What we need to do is to bend the wrist down towards the floor. So you've got to bend the wrist down, and that will enable you to get your hand further around, because we need to get the other fingers on the tips of the fingers, on the tops of the fingers, and we won't be able to do that if our wrist is further back. So we need to bend the wrist forward. That will enable us, our hand to come round slightly further to get our fingers on the tips. The next tip is your thumb position. Your thumb position, a lot of people when they start playing, they put their palm against the back of the neck of the guitar. What we need to do is get our thumb right smack bang in the middle of the neck. And just this side of the first finger, because we need to be able to apply pressure on the thumb and the fingers as well. So the first finger and the other fingers. So thumb position, right smack in the middle of the neck, just this side of your first finger, just like that. Hopefully you can see that. So just to recap then, we're going to be using the side of the finger, not the flat part, not the front of the finger, kind of the 45 degree side of the finger. We're going to angle our arm around 45 degrees from the neck of the guitar. We're going to bring the wrist further down, we're going to bend the wrist, and the fourth one is we're going to use our thumb right in the middle of the neck. And hopefully that will help you create better and nicer sounding bar chords. So when you're practicing, start off by practicing just playing your first finger barred across all the strings. And play down, and hopefully each string should ring nicely. If you're getting any dodgy notes, then you're going to need to squeeze a little bit tighter. Make sure you're really close to the fret wire. Make sure you're on the side of the finger. Make sure your thumbs are the back of the neck. And you're actually creating the pressure by not just pulling the finger back, but you're squeezing between your thumb and your finger. It's that pressure that you get from your thumb and your finger that holds the string down. Make sure your wrist is bent. Try and get that finger in line. You want the whole of the finger being really straight. You don't want your finger twisted round like this. It needs to be straight, and that's all comes from bending the wrist. You want to bend the wrist down so that the whole of the first finger goes really straight. And once you can play all the strings and make those ring nice, then think about putting the other fingers on. And start with a major chord probably. So put your second finger on the G string on the next fret up, and then your third finger on the A string 2 frets up from your first finger, and your little finger just underneath that. And that creates the major chord. And then if you want a minor chord, you just take your second finger off. And there you go, you can play bar chords all the way up and down the neck. Well, hopefully you found this useful. If you have, please subscribe, press the like button, and if you've got any comments, if you found it useful, put it in the comment box. If you've got any other tips for doing bar chords, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. I've been Andy Hillier with 9 to 42. I'll see you next time.